I always recognize that wouldn't it be cool that your product is your goal? And what do I mean by that? If any of you have ever seen an Amway presentation, and you remember the old dream circle close, if you were a guest in the room, they would draw a big circle on the whiteboard and ask you if you had all the time and all the money in the world, what would you do? And typically when I got exposed to that type of close, in the first 3 items put on the board was travel. So I recognized that travel is a goal. That's what people really wanted to do. And most everybody, if not everybody, if they had all the time and all the money in the world, that's what they would do. So I've said, gosh, you know, it wasn't that I want to swallow vitamins for the rest of my life or that I want to put on some anti-aging serum or anything like that. Those never made the dream circle, but travel always did. So it just made sense to me about that. Years forward, some of y'all might know this, but unfortunately my baby sister lost her fight with cancer. And as the family came together in a grieving period, I would say 60 to 70% of the conversations talked about a family vacation. And it was just really interesting. We didn't talk about remember this holiday or remember this birthday or graduation day or some of the meaningful events in one's life. It was about vacations. It was remember when we did the cruise here or remember when we went here. So it just struck me. It was kind of unique. Unfortunately, as that story unfolds, several months later, we have to pack up her home and sell the house. And there was when we open up the cabinet doors, there's what I would affectionately call an MLM museum of all the various magic mushrooms and jungle juices and the various things that MLM companies have been promoting for the last dozens, if not decades. And unfortunately, I'm the guy that reaches into the cabinet and throws the stuff in the trash. And with that, it hit me. And it was like, oh my gosh. And I had this real epiphany. And that was that, you know what? We're all going to end up in the same place. One of these days, I'm going to be going 6 feet under, and somebody's going to be reaching in my cabinet and pulling out my magic mushrooms, my jungle juices, and throwing them away. And I was like, but those travel memories will live on. There was a master distributor of another MLM company who I knew. He had actually proposed to me about taking corporate position, and I ended up going back to him and said, look, I've got some money and I really believe there's more to this travel side than simple vacation or whatever, that we really can affect families, we can really affect lives, and that what we set in motion can really carry forward in multi-generations. Just like my parents took me on vacations, Terry and I took our kids on vacations. And so vacations became part of the culture of my family. And I'm going to assume that when our 2 daughters have children, they're going to take those kids on vacations. And it's all going to start because my parents took us on vacations. And I was like, wow, that's a huge undertaking. And if we accomplish that, what really is the effect all around the globe? And his response was he totally understood and he got it. And he didn't have those experiences, but he recognized the value of them, and what he brought to the table was another perspective. And that was that there was 2, albeit billion-dollar energy brands in the MLM space. And that energy, as he shared with me, was a $560 billion industry. And that travel was an $8 trillion industry, so approximately 16 times larger, and there was no billion-dollar brands. And so when you said, my gosh, it's just kind of this converging of all these things. The generations of memories and the experiences that you can give that can live long past your own years, and the effects that it can have on families. And you look at the research about that intimacy, is restored to relationships, that worker productivity increases when people come back from vacations, that the memories themselves live on, the fact that the younger generation today is being brought up that they want experiences and not stuff, that it's the largest industry in the world, and you bring all these things converging in here, and it's like, wow, maybe this really is where to be. So a little over a year ago, we set out, trying to find a supplier that could deliver those things that we were looking for. very value driven. And along the way, we realized that there's a real core element to all of this, and that's the technology. And that for us as a company, we really need to brand ourselves more on the technology side than just on the travel side. And that's where we're going. I mean, our pledge is now today, HODO, which is a Greek root for a word, hodomania, which is an outrageous love of travel. We would like to take the word HODO and brand it to just excellent disruption. And that we're going to be in the technology space, and that we really want to dominate in that. And we know that even though disruption kind of has a negative connotation and things, but if you really look at what's happened to our lives in the last 10 or 15 years, you'll see the disruption that these other technology companies out of Silicon Valley have manifested. People shop differently thanks to Amazon and in eBay. People travel differently currently with Expedia and Priceline. And people take cabs differently with Uber and Lyft, and people book rooms differently with Airbnb and HomeAway. So when you look at all these disruptions in really what were core businesses in our country, HODO is going to launch this disruption, and our first step in the disruption area is trip spin. And we have a really simple thing. Life's a trip. Let's take it for a spin. And for that, we're going to deliver value to you. We're going to, our goal is that our algorithms, our technology is going to beat Priceline and Expedia 80–90% of the time. If anybody tells you it's going to beat it all the time, don't believe them. We just don't think that that's a reality. But we are very confident on beating them 80–90% of our time, and that's our goal. My partner John is the reason why we are HODO Global is because John's had a presence all around the world and has contacts, connections, networks that can't wait to get involved with us and take advantage of our global opportunity. That we're going to have something for you that's going to deliver some secret insider pricing that you just can't get by a Google search or on Bing. And that these are hidden insider prices, but they are going to save you, let's just say, anywhere from 3% to over 70%. So the savings can be significant for you and your family. The goal of these savings for you, if you choose to be a subscriber to this platform, is that we want to deliver to you 4- and 5-star hotels and resorts for 3-star prices. That's our goal. So that we can elevate the luxury, we can elevate the experience within the budget that you can afford. And then hopefully from that, if those savings compound over the year, that you can squeeze out one more family vacation of high quality. Because as my personal commitment when we started this, and my partner knows this, is I have a really, really simple goal. And that is to help more families take a vacation next year than they took a vacation last year. So I'm going to repeat that. My goal is to help more families around the world take a vacation next year than took a vacation last year.